Good evening and welcome to the national news broadcast on ChannelEye. We are ready to bring you the top stories from home and around the world. I'm Natalia Viravardhana.
Good evening, I'm Stefan Dalvis. Let's take a look at the top stories for tonight. Island-wide quarantine curfew imposed from 10 p.m. today to 4 a.m. on the 30th Monday. Essential services and export services permitted to continue. Strict legal action will be taken against those who violate quarantine curfew. It has been disclosed that spreading of virus by a COVID patient who has received both doses is less than 65%. The highest number of daily corona patients reported from the US. Petroleum Corporation says it has sufficient stocks of fuel. The maximum fine against companies that sell rice for higher prices increased to 10 million rupees. Now a look at our top story. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has decided to impose quarantine curfew island-wide from 10 p.m. today to 4 a.m. on the 30th Monday. However, it has been decided to give COVID vaccines for those who are above 60 years and have not received the vaccine during this period. Despite the quarantine curfew, essential services and export services will continue to function. The President has taken the decision during the Special COVID Eradication Committee this morning at the Presidential Secretariat. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa directed relevant authorities to complete vaccination of those above 60 years before the 1st of September. Individuals above 60 years should be identified through divisional secretaries, heads of local government bodies, rural COVID control committees, and they should be reported before the 23rd to health authorities for vaccination. Registration facilities have been provided by calling over the hotline number 1906 or by calling the National Operations Center to prevent COVID-19. It was decided to conduct the vaccination program under the supervision of the Army Commander according to the advice of health authorities. The President instructed the relevant authorities to maintain agriculture, garment industries, construction industries, export industries, pharmacies, essential services, airport and airline operations. The IGP has been instructed to take strict action against those who are violating the quarantine curfew. The President informed State Minister of Indigenous Medicine to take steps to provide indigenous medicine to rural and urban people. The group of people, including Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, parliamentarians, heads of health authorities and armed forces commanders attended the discussion. Meanwhile, head of the National Operations Center to prevent COVID-19, Army Commander General Shavendra Silva expressed his views about imposing quarantine curfew. Head of the National Operations Center to prevent COVID-19, Army Commander General Shavendra Silva said that the government has decided to impose quarantine curfew from 10 p.m. today to 4 a.m. on the 30th Monday. Permission has been given for essential services, garment factory workers, agricultural activities, and to open pharmacies during that time. Persons who are leaving for employment do not need a permit or a special permit. They will be allowed to proceed after identifying themselves to officials at roadblocks. A program has been implemented to vaccinate those above 60 years during this period. Vaccines will be given by the armed forces together with the health authorities.
17,364,921 vaccine doses have been given to the people under COVID vaccination program. 5,311,784 people have received both doses of the vaccines. 2,519 have been given the first dose of AstraZeneca vaccine yesterday and 511 the second dose of the vaccine. 27,371 have been given the first dose of Sinopharm vaccine yesterday. The second dose of the vaccine has been given to 107,930. First dose of the Pfizer vaccine has been given to 1,392 and the second dose to 2,205 yesterday. 480 have been given the first dose of the Moderna vaccine and the second dose has been given to 71,314. 1,601,677 vaccine doses have been given to the people during the last 7 days. 213,737 vaccine doses have been given yesterday. WHO Sri Lanka resident representative Dr. Alaka Singh has praised Sri Lanka's vaccination program. She has pointed out that the government led by the President is implementing a successful vaccination program. She mentioned this during a discussion today with Minister Curfew Rupavahini. She expressed positive views about providing emergency medical facilities to Sri Lanka. Dr. Singh said that attention will be paid on supplying medical oxygen following discussions with European Union. She said rapid antigen test kits can be provided according to the needs of the country. Minister Curfew Rupavahini said that government has taken various measures to control COVID-19. He said that maximum steps will be taken on behalf of the people without a hesitation according to the needs. Minister Rupavahini commended the tasks performed by the WHO to control COVID-19 pandemic. (2,825) COVID-19 patients were detected from the country today. Meanwhile, 2,096 patients left the hospitals today following recovery. Shakti ship of Sri Lanka Navy set sailed this morning to Sri Lanka carrying medical oxygen from India. The ship left Trincomalee harbour on the 17th to bring oxygen stock, reached India's Chennai harbour on the 18th. Shakti ship of the Indian Navy carrying a medical oxygen stock left to Sri Lanka last night from Visakhapatnam harbour. The two ships are scheduled to arrive at Colombo harbour on the 22nd and 23rd. It is on a request from Navy Commander Vice Admiral Nishant Lugetan from Indian Navy Commander Admiral Karambir Singh to expedite the process of bringing the stock of medical oxygen from India. The Shakti ship of the Indian Navy has joined to bring the medical oxygen.
Director of Immunology and Molecular Biology of Sri Jayawardhanapura University, Dr. Chandamaji Vandara says that the possibility of the spreading of the virus from a fully vaccinated COVID-19 patient is less than 65%.
We have released our latest report on genetic sequencing of the SARS-CoV-2 virus in Sri Lanka, and we have found that out of the 88 samples, 84 samples belonging to Delta variant Sri Lanka. And the importance is, majority of the samples were sequenced from the Colombo district, and apart from that we have sequenced Delta, identified Delta variant from the central province, Kandy, Matale and Nuwara area, and also the areas like Ratnapura and Galle. Since there is significant spread within the Colombo district, we deeply analyze the viral sequencing of the Delta variant circulating in the Colombo district, and we found that 3 unique mutations appearing in our Delta variant, and those are the A22V, A101S and A1078S. So these 3 mutations are particularly important because this is the first time that we observe these 3 mutations appearing in Delta variant together in the world. We don't know the significance of this finding, but we are closely monitoring and investigating the significance of the 3 mutations occurring in the same variant. And as of today, the A222V mutation is described elsewhere from the world, but the A701S mutation is treated only in Sri Lanka, and the other mutation A1078S detected not only in Sri Lanka but also in Malaysia in the world. So these 3 mutations are seems to be appearing in our population, and majority of the samples we sequence from Colombo district belonging to the Delta lineage with these 3 mutations together is the dominant Delta lineage circulating in the Colombo district in Sri Lanka. So which is, we think it's a significant finding, and we will be investigating it further with another round of sequencing, especially focusing the samples from Colombo area, so that we will know whether there are any advantage for the virus with these 3 mutations for the survival and the transmissibility of the virus. And apart from that, we have no data to support that it will escape vaccine immunity or the natural immunity, and we will be we'll be keeping a close eye on that, and also we'll be investigating on this to detect if any immune escapes with these new mutations. So as of now, there are no confirmation of the immune escape with these mutations.
COVID-19 deterioration in the US is straining the healthcare system as the Delta variant continues to ravage the country, coupled with low vaccination rates. The United States has reported more than 154,910 cases during the last 24 hours. The United States reported 967 new deaths from COVID-19 yesterday. The 7-day average of COVID-19 deaths reached its highest level since mid-April this year. Meanwhile, Mexico is battling a new wave of coronavirus infections as daily cases hit record highs and the official death toll passed 250,000, one of the highest worldwide. Health authorities have reported nearly 29,000 daily new cases, Mexico's highest for any day except for statistical one-offs. Mexico also recorded 940 more confirmed deaths, the highest number in a single day since February.
Chairman of Petroleum Corporation Sumit Vijayasinghe says that the corporation has sufficient fuel stocks for more than 1 month. He said that consumers should not entertain an unnecessary fear on fuel shortage. The person called Ananda Palita, who is said to be a trade union representative of the Petroleum Corporation, said during a media briefing yesterday the fuel at stores is sufficient only for 11 days. Trade union said that person is a retired employee of the corporation. With his statement, long queues could be seen near fuel stations today. The person called Ananda Palita, who is said to be a trade union representative, said that there is only 65,000 metric tons of diesel at present. 55,000 metric tons are being sold daily. Therefore, it is sufficient only for about 11 days according to yesterday's data. 3,000 metric tons of petrol are needed daily. There is only 32,000 metric tons at present. Therefore, petrol octane 92 is available only for 10 days. Chairman of Petroleum Corporation Sumit Vijayasinghe said that there was 71,000 metric tons of petrol by yesterday. There is 99,000 metric tons of diesel. By yesterday, a daily use of petrol has reduced to 2,800. Consumption of diesel has been reduced from 1,300 to 4,200 metric tons. Considering these details, fuel was imported recently. By yesterday, there was petrol sufficient for 26 days at the stores. Diesel is sufficient for 8 days. Usually, Sapugaskanda refinery issues 1,800 to 2,000 metric tons of diesel daily. Accordingly, this quantity of fuel is sufficient for more than 1 month. Therefore, there is no need to panic. He said that the employee who worked at the corporation terminal retired several years ago. He has no right to make statements about the corporation like that. It is a serious offence to issue false statements. It is a punishable offence under 120th clause of the Criminal Code. Therefore, a complaint was made at the CID today requesting for an immediate investigation into the matter.
The maximum fine against companies that sell rice for higher prices has been increased to 10 million rupees. The maximum fine for single business establishment is 1 million rupees. The relevant Consumer Protection Act was gazetted last night. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that the traders who were selling rice for higher prices were fined 2,500 rupees so far. The Gazette was issued amending the Consumer Affairs Act with effect from 12 midnight yesterday. The Cabinet recently gave its approval. Steps were taken to import 6,000 metric tons of rice from Pakistan to face any rice shortage. Cases are being filed against intermediaries who gather and stock paddy.
Head of the National Operations Centre to prevent COVID-19, Army Commander General Shavendra Silva says that Kandy Asala Perhera will be held without the participation of public despite quarantine curfew. The third Randolph Perhera of Kandy Asala Festival is parading the streets now. The processions commenced at the auspicious time of 7:03 p.m. Kataragama Vasana Tusker is carrying the sacred casket of the procession. Mian Raja Tusker of Dalanda Maligava and Kandula Tusker of Kalani Raja Mahaviharya are accompanying him. The procession is held this year without public participation due to the pandemic. The procession will move along Dalanda Vidya, Kotugadalla Vidya, Haras Vidya, DS Senanayaka Vidya and will return to Dalanda Maligava through Raja Vidya.
That's it for the news this evening. Have a good night.
Good night and stay safe.